Very good to see you all again here. Okay, so let's start practicing. You all have the text, yeah, the transcription which I did. So let's start with from the refuge. I think not important to read some other text and also whatever. Just we will directly start reading from the Nolsang, from the refuge. Yep. Okay. Very hot here now in Nepal. Sweating. Well, okay. So let's just start from the refuge and Bodhicitta. Yeah. And then later we can explain or whatever. Let's yes. Everyone has the text, yeah? You all have got the text now. Wonderful. Yeah, from the beginning. Yes, I can see everybody now. Wonderful. Yes, from the beginning, page number 1, Bell and Damaru, and practice together. Namo Yalama Deshi Dibego Concho Sungi Rajela Data Ju Simchinam Chanchu Perdu Gapsuchi Namo Lama Deshi Dibego Concho Sungi Rajela Data Ju Simchinam Chanchu Perdu Gapsuchi Namo Lama Deshi Dibego Concho Sungi Rajela Dada Ju Simchinam Chanchu Perdu Gapsu Chi Simchin Kuntundu Lama Sangi Drumnenim Kala Kandul Chinlegi Drua Drulwar Sinketo Simchen Drua Kuntundu Lama Sangi Drumnenim Kala Kandul Chinlegi Drua Drulwar Tamchao Simchen Drua Kuntundu Lama Sangi Drumnenim Kamla Kandulu Chilegi Drua Drulwar Simki Now continue, okay? We will just continue. Rayang Kang Sangze Namki Mata Peti Boso Tamchi Sector Chute Tongbar Jang Om Subhava Shuddha Sarvadam Subhava Shuddho Hangan Tongbe Angle Jumle Rinpoche Nuyang Shinga Chewa Namki Nangdo Om Ahung Shual Jungwe Sangze Duyungi Nampa Kado Chiru Kunsum Tsopa Namka Parnanga Saji Tamche Kyape Tujin Samgi Mekyab mi zang wei ji ma ni gyun tam je zhong war zhong bei yun tene ke par chen dan den bei yong su kang wa har gyu ru nama sarva tathagata vayo vishu mukhe sarva thekang udate saparana ima gagana kham soha nama sarva tathagata vayo vishu mukhe be sarva thekang udate saparana imang gaga Soha nama sarva tathagata vayu vishamukhe sarva thekang ugate saparana imang gagana khang soha nama sarva tathagata vayu vishamukhe ve sarva thekang ugate saparana imang gagana khang soha Nama sarva tathagata vayu vishamukhe be sarvate ugate saparana imang gagana soha Nama sarva tathagata vayu vishamukhe be sarvate ugate saparana imang gagana soha Okay, you all are doing wonderful now with the mudras. So we just focus on this one, and then today. So then benzer. Now continue. Benzer saparana khanga namo dagi sambe dokta. Vision shikwe jindu dan chigi ingi tutnam ge simchin namla penda. Tunam kanda samba kun teda thamche chiri thokpa me par So this verses entirely we do with the bell actually, okay? Yeah. So today let's keep the next one. This is already, we have done this cleansing and purifying the substances, this one. So next one we can always keep. So let's jump to page number, self-visualization, page number 12. Yeah, everyone has it? Page 12. Yeah, the self-visualization. So we practice together. Everyone has it? Yeah, okay. Page 12. So here we have to visualize Guru Padma Sambhava, okay? So try to visualize simultaneously while we are reciting the chanting, yeah? I mean, the reciting this one. You have to visualize yourself, Guru Padma Sambhava, and then if it is manageable or easy to visualize, then Mandarawa, concert Mandarawa, and Ishithogil, left and right side, yeah? And then try to visualize and try to be one-pointed. Okay, continue page number from the ni peman, okay? Da ni peman chu ni ku un chu zen chu e nyam dem per u lam pe jang ku dem so lo sao pe dan chu gu xin dorje du zi kathen banam angka jangkani chayun Okay, now invocation, yeah, inviting. So we visualize ourselves and then Guru Padma Sambhava, and then now inviting there is we called Samaya being or Samaya deity. So and then the wisdom being, I think later I can explain what actually it means. So now just practice. So wisdom being means the Guru Padma Sambhava from his pure land, the Kopakala mountain or Zangdok Belri. So we have to invite one pointedly and then practice together. Okay, now with the Damaru and bell. Then now the next one. Gunzang tuje rol beje kun kyala marin bojim ten yue nam chul mi zebe chila ya zenge berzim kam chu ta be na ngela Shivadani Jojagi Gilvegi Gurgunjani Shodantun Mojuju Jungeze Bajameda Sangari Ngazumada Ningwe Chubung Bajin Rara Su Sui Doja Nadi Umezin Bezu Sasum Rul Bezu Gijo Kandru Mahai Chawadum China Sangwe Barzisu Yagidamba Kinamla Nisume Barzu Yabim Beni Dobchin Dujiyul Nyamni Ribe Andujim Echideni Kinamla Michelo Edagagi Den min zuni judebe son perol bedirse Okay. So from here the Nolsang starts, yeah, as I mentioned yesterday. So Nolsang itself is starting from here until here. The visualization and everything we have put from our Tashi Rekong, which is composed by Kunchen Pema Karpo, Holiness Fourth Gyalwang Drukpa. So from here the Nolsang starts. So you all have the translation now, yeah. Everyone has the translation which I sent yesterday. So let's go there. Let's have that translation paper, or you might have in your mobile. So I will try to talk a little bit, explain the I will go through the explanation, and then later we can practice chanting together. Yeah. So everybody has the Nolsang translation. Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, let's have that. Everybody have? Wonderful. Everybody has? Okay. I'm scrolling just to make sure everyone's saying that you have. Okay. Okay, let me open it. This one, the link actually, you might be just, I don't know, you can save as a PDF. I think you all are much smarter than me. But today I came to know we can save. Once you save it, it automatically makes a PDF. So you can have in your iBook, or I don't know, Acrobat, or wherever your books are lying. So you can have it there. So we don't need internet to open it all the time, you know. Yeah. So so the beginning part, visualization and all this refuge and bodhicitta, I will definitely go through the explanation. But now the clearing, the purifying or cleansing the substances, we haven't got the translation yet. Rigzinla is going to do. So once we have that, then we can go back from refuge. I can then slowly explain. So today we just focus on the Nolsang, okay, from here. So everyone has, it's the beginning of the translation that says Ke Simchen Kunkyang. I think that everyone has it, yeah? Or someone says there is a page number also, so I don't know which page number it is. So anyway, so Semchen Kunkyang Marik Tipu Nol, yeah, from there I will explain. Yeah, everyone has it. So got it? Where I'm explaining, you all have? Wonderful. Okay, I think everyone got it. Okay, wonderful. So, so it says here, Semchen Kunkyang Marik Tipe Nol, meaning the darkness of ignorance contaminates all beings, yeah? So that's what it translated, how it translated. So this has a very deep meaning, I would say. So darkness of ignorance contaminates all beings. What does that mean, you know? So ignorance, when we say ignorance, ignorance is the main, oh, what do you say? The main kind of pillar which that makes us ignore, I mean, that makes us totally, you know, deceive us into this illusion world, you know. So we totally caught up with the illusion, this which I said yesterday. So when we say darkness of ignorance, ignorance actually means where we are actually pointing, you know. What is ignorance? So when we say ignorance, in Tibetan we say marik, you know, that's what it said. Semchen kunkyang marik. So marik means not seeing. You know, if I literally translate the Tibetan word in English, so marik means not seeing. You know, marik and matong is same. So sometimes we say matong in Tibetan. So marik and matong means we are not seeing. So we would definitely say, of course, I see, you know, what do you see? I see water as a water. I see mountain as a mountain. I see human being as a human being. I see, you know, I don't know, home as a home, you know, I see aeroplane as an aeroplane. So that is not the real, you know. What we are seeing is an illusion. So Marik, that's why it says Marik. You know, we are not seeing the reality of the whatever, all the phenomena, you know, we are not seeing the reality. That's why it says Marik, you know. So Marik in English, we say it's ignorance. 1 minute, okay. I have an important message, just hang on a second. Yeah. So that is the Marik, ignorance. So ignorance actually, I mean, we can say ignorance is the root of all the afflictions, yeah, all this emotion, like 5 poison, whatever, 3 poison, 5 poison. The ignorance is the root of all this poison or all these afflictive emotions. So we say actually we have this ignorance. We say we have a kind of a very how do you say, in a category how we actually describe that, you know. So in Tibetan we say dushe, the chinchilo gitawashi, meaning 4 wrong thought we have, you know, 4 wrong views. We are looking at the phenomena with the 4 wrong views. So the 4 wrong views, let me go through it just in brief. So 4 wrong views is to mistaking, you know, actually to mistaking or to apparent, I don't know, we say apparent, I found something like that word, to apparent what is impermanent as permanent, you know. That's what how we are going through in this life, you know, to mistake, you know, to mistaking what is impermanent as permanent. That's the one. number one. And number two is to mistaking what is miserable as happiness. So that's the number two. And number three is to see what is impure as pure. That's the number three. And number four is to mistaking what is selfless. No, there is no selfless as having a self. So these four are the four demons, I would say, four demons which deceives us in this life. Fully we are totally caught up with these four wrong views. So it's quite understandable anyway. I think you all got it, what I meant. So mistaking what is impermanent as permanent, it is impermanent. We know, we go through every moment, every second, every day, every month, every year, if we are going through the impermanent, yet our ignorant mind or this Mara or whatever, our ignorant mind says it's permanent, it keeps us telling us it's so stubborn, it did never listen to, I don't know, whatever our ignorant mind is always saying it's permanent. So that's the wrong view we are having, we are holding, we are so caught up with this wrong view. That's why we are still in samsara, so we are still ignorant being, that's what we say. So impermanent, let me just kind of explain a little bit. Impermanent as, we are mistaking impermanent, what is impermanent as permanent. So for example, this is a very good example, especially in this pandemic, this difficult time, we are experiencing, every day, whenever we turn on our television, we see how many human beings are dying, we see how many bodies are carrying to crematorium, we see all this sad news, we see how many people being affected by COVID-19. Yet this mind is saying it's permanent. You see, I will never die, as if you made of a metal, that kind of, we see now this, and it's easier said than done, we can say, of course, it's impermanent, but then deeply, whether we really experience or not, whether we are really feeling it's impermanent, okay? So this is a great message that, that when we see the news of people are dying, people are burying in burying and the cremating, and all these are happening every day, every second, every moment, especially in this pandemic time. Like countless of the beings are now already gone, left this world. So but still we are saying that permanent, deep in our mind. So that's why we call it ignorant. We are ignorant. Everything is impermanent. Our surroundings are telling us it's impermanent, okay? So when we see the news itself is telling you it's impermanent. So many people left this world. Now it's your turn. You are also, soon be leaving this world. But we never get this message, Oh, sometimes we are very shocked. Sometimes we are very sad. But yet we are not telling us that you are going to die, okay? We don't know tomorrow or day after or next month or next year whether we are alive or not. So that this is your surroundings are telling you that it's impermanent. But in deep in our mind, we would never consider that. We are just still we are enjoying, still we want to fight, still we want to, I don't know, go through all these ups and downs. Still we are happily want to involve in this existent how do you say, illusion world. So that's what we say, our surroundings are telling you it's impermanent, but we never get the message. Your body itself also telling you every day it's impermanent. When we see a new wrinkle, it's telling you are getting old, you are getting close to the death. Be aware, being alert. But then we never don't want to hear that. We never get that message. We say, oh, no. When we get a gray hair, or maybe we better polish, or when every day is we are feeling, we are going through the experience. Our face tells, our hands tells, our body tells, we feel so weak, day by day, year by year. we are getting old, we are getting closer to the death, yet we don't want to, we just want to ignore, we want to neglect, that part. No, don't tell that, I want to enjoy, so actually it's okay, enjoying is okay, but at the same time we have to have this understanding of impermanent, otherwise we would never come over ignorant, that's why it says that from in the very beginning of Nolsang, it says all beings are contaminated because of the ignorant, or whatever it says, no. So that's the thing. So this is one, the wrong, to mistaking the impermanent as permanent. So that's the one thing, our body is telling, I don't know, our eyes are telling, monthly, yearly, our sight is, getting weaker, we all have to wear glasses, and also our hearing also telling, you can't hear now, your eye used to hear very properly, but now my one left ear cannot hear, or I can't smell, meaning these all are telling you that it's impermanent, you are changing, your body is changing, your surrounding, your all the circumstances are changing, it's not permanent, okay? You have to get that message, it is telling. That's why we say in Tibetan, we say, all these are master, you don't need a master. I mean, it's of course we have to have a, how do you say, your guru who really teach you orally, but at the same time all these different season, different circumstances are telling you, it's a great master, it's a great lesson, so COVID-19 itself is a great master to all of us, if we realize, really, if we have to realize it, we have to grab this opportunity, and then to be a good practitioner, to be liberated from this samsara, by understand, because of this COVID-19 incident, we have to realize this is, giving you a great message. So that's the first thing we say, mistaking what is impermanent as permanent, that's the one thing. And then second one, we say, to mistaking what is miserable as happiness. This is a very, again, we go through all this experience every day. It's understandable if we deeply think about it. So we have to rethink and contemplate. That's the main thing, okay? When we have a teaching, and when we receive lots of teaching from great masters, and so many great masters, not only keeping in our mind, in our head, that doesn't help anything to you. You have to transform by listening to the great master's teaching. Your mind has to transform, your behavior has to transform, otherwise it doesn't make any sense. It's a wasting of time, it's a wasting of effort, it's a wasting of money, or whatever, everything is going to waste. So main, what we want is, we have to have a transformation within ourselves. So transformation in the sense, understanding all these things, and then we will get rid of our ignorant mind. Then you are already a Buddhahood, or already a great the realization being. Yeah. So that's the thing. So second one is, what is miserable as happiness? We see everything is miserable again, it's telling us, but yet at the same time we are ignoring it. For example, let's say, I don't know, getting married or something like that, or maybe having boyfriend or girlfriend or something like it. Very fancy. It looks very romantic, very fancy, very pleasant, very pleasurable. But at the same time, it tells you, I think, when we go through all these different experiences, after a few months, it turns miserable actually, the pleasure itself turns miserable. It tells you, but then we again don't want to know that. I don't want to know that. Again, we are, you went through so many difficulties. Your boyfriend left you. Again, you have to find a boyfriend. Your girlfriend left you. Again, you have to find a girlfriend. So when somebody left you, it's such a miserable. You thought it's a pleasure. It will give me kind of a unmeasurable kind of happiness that my boyfriend or my girlfriend will give me, but then all of a sudden he or she left you, and then it turns miserable. So this is telling what we are going through is, we it is miserable, yet at the same time we see, what is miserable as happiness. So this is telling you every day, every moment, every experience you go through, this is telling you, but we don't want to know that. So that is our second wrong view. We caught up, that's why we caught up with the ignorant. That's why we caught up, we suffer. If you don't have this grasping attitude, then you wouldn't suffer. So there's the second thing. This is just one example, what I'm giving. So you can refer, with every phenomena, having a, maybe let's say, wonderful fancy car, fancy house, or maybe, I don't know, lot of money, you are rich, rich actually give you miserable, actually, very. I was told many rich, they can't sleep, they are suffering from insomnia. They have to the sleeping pill. Why? Because it's so much money, they have to keep of the money, how to handle it, which bank I have to invest, what this bank will do to me, you have, it's understandable if you are a person who is, what do you call that, living with the daily wages, we say, daily wages means, every day you have to sell something and you are eating, then but we human beings are, our greed is just I don't know, it's a, it's like unbelievable, we keep on hungry for the money, keep on going for the money, then that will give you more and more suffering. Yet we think it's going to be miserable, for example, it is miserable when you have a lot of money, you are like a millionaire, filthy rich, and by having that lot of money, you as a result, you can't sleep. So what that means, that gives you miserable, that gives you, as a result, you can't sleep, you have to eat sleeping pill, every day. So that's it. That's what that is the second wrong view. What is miserable as happiness? So every day it is going to be miserable. It tells you miserable, but we don't want to know it's unhappy or it's a miserable. It's pleasure, it's happiness, no matter what, we want to ignore it. So that is our second fault or second wrong view which we are holding. And then the third one is, it says, what is impure as pure? What it says? Okay, so the third one is, what is impure as pure, so this also we can talk with so many different subjects. So let me just pick our body, our own body, this existing body. So what is impure? It is impure, but we always think it's pure, for example, our own body, if we really think deeply, or if we examine our body, it's full of dirty, from top to bottom, it's dirty. But then we never thought this is dirty, we think, oh, I'm so beautiful, oh, we have to put on makeup, I don't know, we have to go to shower, we have to wash our clothing every day. We are deceiving ourselves that you are beautiful, so that is our third total, how do you say, very bad, or the wrong view which we are holding, so yeah, let's see how, what is dirty, meaning everything is dirty. If you examine, your flesh, we have flesh, our body is made of 5 elements, flesh and blood and I don't know, the pus and I don't know, whatever, it's full of nonsense actually. If we really examine, it's just unbelievable. We don't want to even talk about it, we don't want to even think about it, it's so filthy, so bad, so dirty, so I mean, for now it looks beautiful because it just our skin covered, so if we just cut from here, what will come out, blood will come out. It looks so, very how do you say, unpleasant, unpleasant will come out. If we have some wound, what happens, the pus come out, blood come out, what not, so our full body is full of nonsense, full of dirty. Yet illusionally, or the, yet we say I'm very clean, we are very clean. Actually it's not, so that's what we say. This is a third wrong view which we are holding. So that deceive you, total, that gives you total kind of ignorant, you totally caught up with that. I remember Holiness was saying once, it's true. I mean, we think about it, it's very funny, but we are not thinking it. These are the practice, okay? When we say practice, I am a practitioner. We consider ourselves as a practitioner. I want to practice. I am a practitioner. Meaning, we kind of we tend to have a idea of meditating, or maybe sit in the shrine room and then practice. So that is considered to be a practitioner. It's not. Practice is actually something to do with your mind. If you are thinking all this, keep having all this kind of thought, meaning that you are practicing. That is the real practice. When we sit in the shrine and playing damaru and bell, and I don't know, that are one form of practice. But then real practice has to be always, that's what we say, three wisdom. First you have to listen to teaching, is the first wisdom, and second you have to contemplate. I mean, you have to think about it, analyze, what master says, what he said, what this master said. So we have to contemplate, keep thinking about it, whether that makes sense or not. And then finally we have to implement. You have to put into your daily life. Practice is not something keep aside or keep separately, and then sometimes only maybe, let's say, 1 hour a day, that is only my practice, and then rest I'm going to, I don't know, being ordinary beings. Then we have, as a practitioner, we have a very short life, and then we have 1 hour to practice every day. Then nothing, we have to practice every moment, every single moment. We shouldn't be wasting our life. Life is very precious, very short. We don't know when it's going to end. So every moment, every second, we have to think about it. If we think, so that will gives you something, some transformation will be happening. So that is the practice. So yeah, so going back to the subject of what is impure, as we consider as pure, means our body. Think about our body. Holiness was saying once, very interesting. He said, every day we are washing, every day we are washing our face, washing our hands, we are having bath or shower, we comb our hair, and we have to go through this. If we don't do, just imagine if we don't do this for a week, what happens? It's just our mouth will be so smelly, unbelievably smelly. So then full body will be going to be smell. So that means that's the truth of our body, But artificially we are washing it. Why we have to keep washing? Means you are dirty. It's telling that you are dirty, If we don't our clothes, it's going to be so smelly. Means telling that your body is dirty, If we don't comb our hair or don't do any makeup or anything, just leave it like that, it's going to be, you can't even open your nose, it's going to be so smelly. So means it's telling you it's a dirty, your body is dirty, okay? Yet at the same time we are keep telling ourselves, oh no, I'm beautiful, I'm so clean, I'm so pure. That's the deceive, or that's the real wrong view that we are holding. So that's the third one, okay? So I'm just giving one example with the body, so you can always check with us all other phenomena, what we think as are pure, as in what pure, all are impure actually. Yeah, so that's the third one. And then fourth one is, what is selfless as having a self? So this is one of the most important. This is the one which you really suffer, which you that's why we are still in samsara. That's why we haven't realized. That's why we haven't gained any wisdom within us. So this is most important one. What is selfless as having a self? I never exist. We say I am German, I am UKP, I don't know, I am American, I am Ladakhi, I am Himalayan. Where is I actually? It never exists at all. it's just unbelievable, isn't it? Just think about it. I never exist. And then how come that we are so caught up, so having a so fixation about I, so grasping, so solid grasping attitude towards I, we can't survive without I, even for a single moment, for a second. We can't survive. I is imprintedly there forever, we can't even skip for a second. So that is the most wrong view, I would say, that we are holding. So let's check, where is I? Okay, you all tell me, where is I? Where is I? Okay, let me scroll, all of you. Where is I? What would say, if a great master also ask you, where is I? We always say, I am, oh, I am hungry, I am thirsty, someone irritate me, oh, my child, then I exist, then my come, my friend, my parents, my beloved one, my something, my enemy, then I and my comes. Actually, it's a total illusion. It's a total nothing. It never exists. It's like it's just unbelievable if we really think about it. So okay, tell me, where is I? Where you would point actually when if someone asks you, where is I? You have no I? I think you all you all already realize that I never exist. So I'm joking. Anyway, I would say, let's see, my hand, automatically goes I, somewhere here. I think we all have that tendency, I. We point somewhere here, where is our heart, and I don't know where it is inside. We say normally heart and mind, or I don't know, we say I. Okay, if your I is somewhere here, so whether this flesh, is it I? No, this is not I. Okay, then maybe inside, you are pointing here, maybe inside, let's open this, let's cut your body. Whether is inside, is there I? No, there is no I, your heart is not, it's an organ, it's if you die, organ is organ, it's a just a piece of paper, it's a piece of stone. All the organs is going to be piece of stone. It's nothing. It has no consciousness, nothing, that tells actually when we die, our body is going, it's a corpse, we call it corpse, so it's a piece of paper, it's a piece of meat, so where actually I exist? There is no I at all, so that it says, the ancient Deva, there are so many ways of searching for I, and also from Dzogchen practice, or there are so many method of, your master will ask you, you go, okay, some of the great masters, great master in the sense, your master will tell you, today he will teach you Mahamudra or whatever, and then he would say, you meditate for 1 week, and then you find I, okay, where is I? How it looks like, whether it has a color or not, whether it has a shape or not, how it looks like, you find, okay, then come back to me. And then they have to search. So we have to do likewise, we consider ourselves as a practitioner. We have to find I never exist. So say our fingers, if we say my hand is I, so then we have 5 fingers, so I become 5. We never say I am 5, I'm 1, isn't it? I 1, which is so solid. So if your fingers are I, okay, then you become 5. In a way, you become 5, Or let's say, if your fingers are I, then let's cut your thumb. Is it I? No, it's not going to be I. It's a piece of meat. I cut this, and then your index finger is also not I. Your middle finger is also not I. Your nails are also not I. Your arm is not I. Your left arm is also not I. And then your head is I. No, my head is not I. So whether your legs are I, no, you will never find I in your legs. So let's say your organs are I, your heart is I. No. As I said, when we leave this world, when we leave this body, it becomes a piece of flesh, it's a piece of meat. So I never exist. So what does that mean? It's just, sometimes it gives you kind of a shocking feeling, So how come then, I always live with this I, which never exists, which never exists at all. You all also check, okay? Yesterday also I said something, you all think about it. So these are the practice we have to check, and then we realize. So this will give you, it's not easy to realize, So check anyway. You go through all the examination. Your body, your blood is not I. Your hair is not I. Your teeth are not I. If you say this teeth is I, and then you have 32 I, which can never be I. And then if you say your teeth are I, then let's check out one by one. Then teeth is just a piece of, again, a stone, and then I never exist. So, this kind of applying, how do you say, thought, we have to think about it again and again, and then find. And then, somehow, if not we fully realize, we somehow realize, we will definitely realize a little bit, Oh, then, we say, oh, I get so angry because of I, or someone. But that means it's not. I never exist. How come then? Whom you are getting angry to? I never exist. It's just our illusion mind that says I exist so solidly. So, we have a so grasping fixation to of I exist. So anyway, so these are the 4 wrong views that we are holding. So that makes you ignorant being, so we say we are ignorant. That's why it's Nolsang in the very beginning, it says the darkness of ignorance contaminates all beings. So contaminate means what? We all are now contaminated because of I exist, because of impure as pure, because of impermanent as permanent, because of these four wrong views which I just mentioned. So these are deceiving us. That's why we all are contaminated. That's what the Guru Rinpoche says here. Okay, the darkness of ignorance contaminates all beings. Yeah. So this has a very deep meaning in it. Yeah. So think about it. So anyway, so that's the one. So now next one, it says mental affliction, the 5 poisons contaminates the 5 wisdom deities. Yeah. So it says mental affliction. So now 5 poison we all know: desire, anger, arrogant or pride, and then ignorant is the one. The desire, anger, ignorant, arrogant or the pride, and then jealousy. These are the 5 poison or the 5 affliction we say. So here it says, Guru Rinpoche, mental afflictions, the 5 poison, contaminates the 5 wisdom deity. So, we have all this affliction, all these 5 poison every day, giving a rise to all these 5 afflictions. We definitely be giving, I at least definitely be giving, like we every day, not only one, so many times of desire, so many times anger, so many times jealousy, so many times arrogant, pride, and then so many times ignorant is always there. So ignorant is why I said before, ignorant is the root cause of all these afflictions. We say, that's why the four wrong views is the main ignorant. So because of 4 wrong views, I exist. Then when I exist, then we get angry. Then we have desire. Then we have arrogant. Then we have jealousy. Because of I exist. So ignorant made I exist. We ignorantly we think that I exist. That's why all this affliction comes. So it says here, 5 poison contaminates the 5 wisdom deities. So 5 wisdom deities, I think many of you already know. So the 5 wisdom is mirror-like wisdom. The first one is mirror-like, we say melong yishe in Tibetan, mirror-like wisdom. And then wisdom of discrimination, yeah, wisdom of discrimination. Then wisdom of equality, sorry for my pronunciation, sometimes I don't pronounce properly, equality. And then wisdom of accomplishment, and then wisdom of embodied, or the, what do you call this, the nature of dharma dhatu, actually, the ignore, that this. So this all you have to kind of understand. So if we realize this 5 poison as a, actually if we realize, is the 5 wisdom. If we don't realize, it's 5 poison. So 5 wisdom is the, 5 wisdom is 5 Buddha. We say 5 family Buddha. Yeah. So 5 family Buddha is Verochana, Buddha Verochana, Buddha Akshobe, Buddha Ratnasambhava, Buddha Amoga Siddhi, and Buddha Amitabha. These 5 are the 5 Buddhas. We say 5 Buddhas. So 5 Buddha actually, if we realize these 5 poison, then you are 5 Buddha already. That's why I said yesterday, we don't have to, something, there is nothing to gain. We already have it. So we say Rik Tang Marik in Tibetan, it's just a way of seeing it and not seeing it. What we are seeing now is all poison, all ordinary. If we realize, then we would say everything, everything as a, how do you say, perfection, everything going to be the, if we realize the reality of the nature, then everything change all of a sudden. Everything, it's just a matter of, we say it's a, like, how do you say, sweeping or changing your hand, it's like that. We already have 5 Buddhas within us. We already have 5 wisdom within us. Our 5 affliction emotions are 5 Buddhas and 5 wisdom. So let me go through it. So ignorant is Verochana, actually. If we realize, so from 5 wisdom, ignorant is the wisdom of embodied, yeah, how do you say embodied, Chuyin Yishe. So the nature of dharma dhatu, actually, dharma dhatu, nature of the ultimate realization. So that is ignorant. If we realize are ignorant, then ignorant itself is the wisdom of embodied, or the wisdom, the nature of dharma dhatu, which is Buddha Verochana. Number 9, we say, yeah, that is Buddha Verochana. So directly we can say, your ignorant is Buddha Verochana, if we realize, So that's why we say we have to understand it, we have to realize it. So your ignorant is Verochana. And then your, what do you call, anger, you are angry. Angry is Buddha Akshobe. And you can also say Vajrasattva, both, Akshobe and Vajrasattva is the west. We see there are also directions. So anyway, don't need to mention here. So your anger is the Buddha Akshobe. And it's a mirror-like wisdom, if you would like to understand that. Mirror-like wisdom, The more anger you have, the quicker realization of Buddha Akshobe, it's there. Really, if we realize it, it's great if you know how to cultivate it and how to, make this anger into the path. That's why we say how to put it in the practice. If you realize that, then the more affliction you have, the better, or the sooner you will get enlightenment. There is no doubt about it. It's an amazing thing, So yeah, anger is mirror-like wisdom, and then which is the Buddha Akshobe. So anger is Buddha Akshobe, actually, if we realize it. So, but then now we don't realize anger is anger. We are totally, controlled by anger. And when we get angry, oh my God, it's just unbelievable, you get, your face get red, your body shivers, what not happen, or then so many, your face become, everything changed. So that means you are giving freedom to your angry, let your freedom, your anger to control you. So that's not. Here we have to, when you get angry at the very moment, you have to look at the nature of the angry. You are so frustrated. You are just like, I don't know, what do you say? Kind of a burst into angry. You are so angry. At the very moment, look at the anger. it doesn't exist. It's empty actually. Where is, as I said before, where I exist? So where is angry? Just watch that. Watch the moment of getting so angry, then you wouldn't find angry. And then that, if you realize that moment, it's going to be the cause of getting enlightenment, getting the Buddha Akshobe. It's an amazing thing, so that's why we say all these are not easy. I wouldn't say it's easy, I mean, for now especially for the beginners like me, it's not easy. I think if you are quite practicing every day, you are trying to implement or trying to cultivate all these things, then I think you can also practice this, and when you get angry, when you get a very kind of a desire and all this jealousy, very strong arrogant, then look at the nature of the arrogant, look at the nature of the jealousy and see what it really tells you. There is nothing, there is no such thing exist, jealousy never exists. So the nature of jealousy itself, for example, let's not talk about jealousy will come later. Nature of anger is the Buddha Akshobe. The reality of anger is the Buddha Akshobe. That's what we say, mirror-like wisdom. So that's the second one. And then the arrogant, when we feel so proud of yourself, so pride, so arrogant. So that is the wisdom of equality. We say equality, wisdom of equality. So means Ratna Sambhava Buddha. You are Ratna Sambhava Buddha when you feel so proud, when you so feel pride or so arrogant. So when you feel so pride and look at the nature of it, so that literally, the nature of the arrogant itself is Buddha Ratna Sambhava. So there's the third Buddha. Yeah. And then when we have desire, the desire or the attachment, whatever, I think desire we normally say. So desire is Buddha Amitabha. It's nothing but Buddha Amitabha. The nature of desire itself is Buddha Amitabha. We always pray to get, reborn in the pure land of Amitabha. We always pray. We always do Emma Hong, Otsar Sangye. We do all these Amitabha Dharani. We recite Om Ami Devashi to reborn in the Buddha Amitabha pure land. So actually, when you have a very strong desire, we have to realize that. And then if you realize that the nature of the desire itself is the Buddha Amitabha. Yeah. So that one we call is wisdom of discrimination. From the five wisdom, it's a discrimination wisdom of discrimination, which is the Buddha Amitabha. And then the last one, from five wisdom or the five Buddhas. So is from the five poison is jealousy. If it is poison and it is jealousy, if we don't realize, it's jealousy. So all five poison are like that. If you don't realize, it's angry, it's desire, it's jealousy, it's arrogant, all bad things. If you realize, it's all Buddha, it's all wisdom. So if it is ordinary, if we just live as it is, it's a jealousy. So it's a wisdom of accomplishment. From the five wisdom, we call it wisdom of accomplishment. And then that actually is the Buddha Amoga Siddhi, Toyotupa. We say Buddha Amoga Siddhi from five Buddha. So if you realize the nature of jealousy itself, you are, if you realize that is Buddha Amoga Siddhi, which is the accomplishment, wisdom of accomplishment. Yeah. So these are the things. So that actually talks. We talk because of here. It says, it says mental afflictions, the five poison contaminates the five wisdom deities. So for now, we are totally contaminated. Why? Because of our five poison. We have given freedom to our five poison. So five poison are ruling us like crazy every day, every moment, So there is no way to get realization of five Buddha or the realize of five wisdom. Why? Because it's covered, the five poison is covering. So that's why it says, five poison contaminates the five wisdom. you know. So it's very clear, Guru Rinpoche said here. So if you want to get enlightenment, if you want to get Buddhahood, so we have to get rid of these 5 poison. Get rid of, in the sense, I mean, there are so many ways. For example, in the Hinayana, they would really give up, you know. They would really look poison as a poison, and then you have to, you know, when you get desire, that's why there are so many Vinaya vows, like, you know, Bhikshu and Bhikshunis, they can't see mirror, they can't watch, I mean, there are so many different disciplines just to get rid of this desire, you know, get rid of this anger, and then try to cultivate. But in our case, or Mahayana or the Vajrayana case, if you are smart enough and if you would like to, you know, have a swift enlightenment, then try to cultivate at the same time. When you have these 5 poison, as I said, you know, the stronger desire you have, the quicker, you know, Buddha Amitabha you will become, you know. Actually, yeah, that's the direct translation, you know. Okay, so don't talk that much. Anyway, so it says, mental affliction, the 5 poison contaminates the 5 wisdom. So there is no way to get realization. We have to understand that. Okay, then the next one, unwholesome deeds of the 3 doors contaminate body, speech, and mind. So which is quite clear anyway. I don't have to go through all the explanation. So unwholesome deeds of the 3 doors contaminate body, speech, and mind. You know, so unwholesome deeds is a migewa, we say in Tibetan. 3 doors, you know. So 3 doors means our body, speech, and mind, that contaminates our body, speech, and mind. So how, you know, I think this is quite clear. So body, unwholesome deeds of body is killing, you know, it's stealing. So that's what it comes in the 10 virtues. Actually, it very properly separated, you know. 3, killing, stealing, and sexual misconduct is the unwholesome deeds of your body. And then lying, anyway, I don't have to do all this, you know. The 4 speech unwholesome deeds are the slander, lying, zuntama, saying harsh word, and then ngakkel, talking nonsense, you know, gossiping, or the, you know, talking nonsense. These are the 4 unwholesome deeds of your speech. And then mind 3, we have like grasping, or the having the greedy mind, and then having the how do you say, mind of, you know, harming others. That's the second one. And then the wrong view, you know, having that. So these are the 3. So if you do that, you know, if you do such things, then it contaminates your body, speech, and mind. That's what it says here. Unwholesome deeds of the 3 doors contaminate body, speech, and mind. So if our body, speech, and mind are contaminated, then you will never realize. Actually, your body is Nirmana Kaya, your speech is Sambhoga Kaya, and then your mind is Dharma Kaya. If we go through these 3 Kayas, you know. So for now, our body, speech, and mind are contaminated, you know, because we have been, from the beginning lessons until today, we have been involving in so much unwholesome deeds over your body. We don't know how many beings we have been killing, you know. We would say maybe in this life I've never killed, but there's also point, you know, you physically, with your hand, you might haven't been doing, you know, killing any animals or harming any beings. If you are not a vegetarian, indirectly you are killing. So that's why when we talk about this, it's very much recommended to be a vegetarian. If you are every day you are, you know, cooking a meal, we may say I'm just buying the meat from market, you know, I'm not killing it. So that indirectly you are killing, you know. If no one goes to butcher, you know, the shop to buy meat, then they will never kill. You know, that's the we are very much recommended to be vegetarian, you know. It's a very important, otherwise we are killing. So we are indirectly killing. So when we kill, means your body is contaminated. Then you will never realize the Nirmana Kaya. There is no way to, you know, until and unless you purify your body contamination, you will never realize the Nirmana Kaya form of the realization. You know, until and unless you purify your speech contamination, you will never realize the realization of, you will never have the realization of Sambhoga Kaya, that actually tells, until and unless you clear your contamination of your thought, your mind, you will never realize that Dharmakaya. So that's actually the thing, so we have to be, that's why we say that for us the discipline is so important, so you all have the discipline, you all have the lay vows, that you have to be very strictly sticking with. You cannot just say, oh, I have vows, but doesn't matter, I can do all sorts of things, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, but then actually means you are contaminating your body, your speech, your mind, and then you will never get the realization of three kayas. So that's the thing, Mige. So for in our case, unfortunately, we have been every day going through maybe the body unwholesome duties, maybe little less, killing, maybe I think many of us are already vegetarian, so let's say killing is maybe skip, there is no contamination of killing. And then stealing also, I don't think we are that hungry and we are that, we steal, someone else's belongings. I don't think we would do that. And then sexual misconduct, I don't know, because we are in the realm of dokam, we say dokam means the desire realm, that our this universe is the desire universe, so we all have so strong desire, no matter what. We sometimes we don't show in, we want to hide it, but then it's a very sure that we definitely have desire. If you don't have desire, you have no potential to become Buddha Amitabha. That's what it just actually says. So we all have that potential, So sexual misconduct is, if you have lay vows, you have to be very strictly, having the keeping the vows properly. Otherwise, you are contaminating your body. And then the false speech contamination, it's, I think, with especially it's a very difficult saying, like telling lie. We more or less every day tell lie, and then slander, we might definitely do that. And also saying harsh word, we definitely do that. And then gossiping, backbiting, we always backbite, especially in ladies. I hate to say that, but that happens, unfortunately. Girls always have that tendency, very strong tendency. Whenever we get together, we have to talk something very good or something very bad about something, backbiting. Oh, she does that, who she did that, she does that, so many gossip, and then we are just involving fully into it. So that is that means you are contaminating. See, now you are contaminating your speech, so there is no way to get realization of Sambhoga Kaya. And then mind is, of course, our mind is like a monkey mind. It's a crazy, don't know how many nonsense thought that comes in our mind every day that really tire you also, that's why we are very fancy about mindfulness, meditating, which is very much needed just to relax your mind. Our mind is not resting even for a single moment. Even in our dream, we are not resting. See how much dream we are having. Means your mind is keep moving, keep thinking, keep moving. It's a restless, so that's why very much recommended, especially as if we consider ourselves as a practitioner, at least for 15 minutes, minimum 15 minutes, meditate. Don't think anything, just leave back everything, forget all this, the materialistic thing, whatever you are going through, problems and all this. Try to be, meditate, or try to be still your mind, don't think anything. Don't think about past, what happens. Don't think about future plan, what will happen, fear, all these, hopes and fear. Don't let any of this feeling to control you, and then just be still, at least minimum 15 minutes a day. That will give you kind of a tremendous happy feeling. If it is possible, more than that, half an hour a day, hours a day. Or if these days we are locked down, and I think many of us have more time, so try to be to meditate, meditate in the sense, or maybe you can, you don't have to be physically, sitting in the posture of any, go into shrine and do something, which is also very good. But at the same time, being alert, that is mindfulness. We say mindfulness, being alert all the time, while you are chopping vegetable, while you are cooking, while you are driving, while you are cleaning, being mindful. Otherwise our mind is roaming around like monkey. I don't know, I might be, you are, what do you call this, you're cleaning, you're dishing, washing what now, god, that gone anyway, you are cleaning your clothes, you are washing your clothes, but your mind is roaming around like anything. So bring back your mind still, and then say, oh, I'm washing my clothes, I'm working now, while you are working. Maybe these days many of you might be going for a short walk or long walk in the gardens, in the park, so being mindful while you are walking. That's the thing we say, that will gives you very how do you say, very kind of tranquilize your mind, the restlessness, the frustration, the why. That's why our mind is so busy thinking, keep on thinking 24 hours. Then at the end of the day, we are so tired, we don't want to, even if you want to do practice, you forget it, there's no way we can practice. So anyway, I'm talking too much. So that's the thing. So our mind, I said, the nonsense talk, and then greedy mind and all this also contaminates our mind. So there is no way to get realization of the dharmakaya. So here, that's why it says unwholesome deeds of the three doors contaminate body, speech, and mind. And then let's go to next. Dultim nyambe luiki kandonol. Broken vows contaminate the dakinis of the body. So that means here it just says broken vows. Actually, it's in Tibetan it says dultim. So dultim means the vinaya. Yeah. For example, we have more vows than what you have. We call it lay vows. For all of you, 5 lay vows is the 5. Only 5 precepts you have. I think you all have the refuge. We say refuge. When you take refuge, meaning you have, you have received the lay vows. So gengen, many. Refuge, not actually. I think many of you already have the lay vows. So lay vows is not killing, not stealing, not having sexual misconduct, not telling lie, and then not having intoxicant, not drinking actually. That 5 is the main precepts of having a lay vows. So these 5, I think many of you have it. So that it says dultim, broken vows. If you don't keep that vows properly, so means if you don't keep, means it's broken. So what broken vows does? Broken vows contaminates the dakini of the body. So our body is, anyway, if we realize again, as I said, 5 poison as 5 Buddha. So our body has full of daka and dakinis, and that's why we say our Buddha, in Tibetan we say tambarigya, we have 42 peaceful deity, and then 58 wrathful deity in our body. Actually, it's always remains there, stays there, but then now we don't realize. That's why we say when we die, all these Buddhas and Bodhisattvas comes. Actually, it's coming from your own body. When we leave this body, all these Buddhas and Bodhisattvas comes out of our body. That's why it says that contaminates our dakini of the body. It says dakini of the body. So we have so many dakinis within us. Okay, ourself is also dakini. Sometimes we say, oh, I'm not dakini. You are dakini. You are Buddha. You are Dhaka. You are Vajra Yogini. You are Vajradhara. As I said yesterday, we just have to remove this nonsense rubbish. Then you are Buddha. Then you are Dhaka. You are dakini. So that's why it says here, broken vows contaminate the dakinis of the body. And tamsik nyampe dorje loponol. Next one is broken commitments contaminate the Vajra master. So here, the one which I just explained is more vinaya, and then tamsik broken commitments, it's very much Vajrayana, we say Tamsik is only with, it comes with the Vajrayana. Broken commitments contaminate the Vajra master. So Vajrayana has so many vows. I mean, once we get the initiation, of the four initiations, so actually we shouldn't be seeing all these ordinary things as ordinary. We say if we have got the 4 initiation already, and then we see water as a water, means you break the vows. Yeah, it's not easy. Vajrayana is not easy. Some people think it's an unfortunate thing. Some people think Vajrayana is very flexible, very easy, but it seems flexible, but at the same time the vows and the precepts are so subtle. See, I mean, we have already broken our samayas because we see water as a water. Actually, water is mamaki. This is 5 female Buddha. 5 elements are 5 female Buddha. So water is no water. It's a mamaki. It's one of the female Buddha. So we don't see, if we see water as just ordinary water, means you already broke the samaya. So here it says Tamsik Nyambe, broken commitments of Vajrayana contaminate the Vajra master, means you are master, Vajra master. You can say outerly, we can say your master, whoever is you consider your master, that you contaminate your Vajra master. So then if you contaminate your Vajra master, there is no way to get blessings and all these initiations or realization, no way, So we have to be so careful, especially if we consider ourselves as a Vajrayana. So there are so subtle vows which we have to every day, from the day you got the vast initiation, means you shouldn't be seeing yourself as an ordinary being. You always be, visualizing yourself as a Dhaka, Dakini, Vajrayogini, Tara, Avalokiteshwara. Always you have to remember that, That's why we have to forget in the sense, it goes back to the same subject. I doesn't exist as I, Jigme from Ladakh, or so strong clinging to this nonsense identity, So that we have to forget, and what we have to think is, I am Vajrayogini, I am a Dakini. That we have to always think. And then if you are Vajrayogini, you wouldn't do all the the nonsense thing, and all this never comes, So that's it goes back to the same subject anyway. So Tamsikliam Bedurjilo Nol and Choktor Chungwe Matang Kandro Nol. So next one it says, Meager offerings at a feast offering contaminate the mother elements and dakinis. So meager means a little, no? Yeah, very small or little or something like that. So meager offering of a feast offering contaminates the mother elements and the dakinis. So what it contaminates when we do the Gana chakra, and when we do, I don't know, these offerings and practice, So we do very little sometimes out of our stinginess, when it comes to Gana chakra. Again, I want to kind of highlight here one thing. When we do Gana chakra, I think this just much better. We also, including myself, ourselves, we are also same. When we say Gana chakra, we just buy few pieces of biscuits, few pieces of chocolates, which we actually don't like that much, We wouldn't eat those kind of biscuits, but we offer as a Gana chakra, and then chips, very, very cheap chips, very cheap biscuits, and very cheap, I don't know, all these small things, then we offer, So that's actually, it says here, the meager offerings at a feast offering contaminates what, if we do that, then contaminates the mother elements and dakinis. It contaminates again, We shouldn't be doing that. If we genuinely want to offer Gana chakra to Buddha and Bodhisattvas, and to your guru, you have to genuinely offer what you like, Oh, I would like a very, I would like a very, how do you say, protein food, very good, healthy food, that you have to offer. That's why, I mean, we are very fortunate, I would say we are very fortunate here in Amitabha, for example, when we do Gana Chakra. So initially it has become kind of a tradition of, when we say Gana Chakra, means all sorts of cheap things you would buy for the Gana Chakra, very funny. I think maybe in your case it's better now, or maybe place like Ladakh is also, I think these days little getting better by receiving lots of advice from holiness. So here in Amitabha now we are starting to cook food properly. We would like to have breakfast, a proper breakfast, healthy breakfast, and proper lunch, healthy lunch, and then when it comes to Gana Chakra, we do very little, very cheap one. This is totally mistake, totally wrong. So what we like, we have to offer to your guru. What I like, I have to offer to Dhaka, Dakini, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So if you don't do that, that contaminates again mother elements and Dakinis. So there is no way to, by offering this, there is no way to get accumulations. We do offerings in order to get accumulations of merit. So instead of getting accumulations of merit, we contaminate. It's the other way around. We do the other way around. So there is no way to get blessings and get accumulations of merit. That's why it says here, mega offerings at a feast offering contaminates the mother elements and Dakinis. So we have to be always very careful. It's not easy to be a practitioner. If we consider ourselves as a practitioner, we have to be very careful. There are so many subtle things we have to be careful, when it comes to Gana Chakra, when it comes to practice, when it comes to so many things, we have to be mindfulness all the time, so then we don't do any mistake. So that's the thing. And then let's go to the next. Used leftovers contaminate the Dharma protectors and guardians, it says. So, so it says used leftovers, contaminates the Dharma protectors. So here it doesn't actually literally, there's some missing. In Tibetan it says pü nyam, pü nyam meaning when we do Gana Chakra or any kind of offering ceremony, for example, let's say Gana Chakra. When we do Gana Chakra offering, we go to supermarket to buy the Gana Chakra, yeah? So, unfortunately, I think many of us think that, when you pick up the, the Gana Chakra, whatever, the chocolate or biscuits or drinks or whatever, you might think, you think that later I will be eating it, later I will be drinking it. So, for eating, you have a motivation of I eating, I drinking, I like that, I like, or maybe if you have that, that means you're already contaminated. So we shouldn't have that at all, that's what we call in Tibetan, we call pü nyam, it's contaminated. So, but it's here only says leftovers, so so leftovers, I don't know, leftover, of course, if we offer our leftovers to Buddha and Bodhisattvas, then definitely, instead of receiving blessings, we definitely contaminate. So that's another thing, this is a very, we all tend to have a tendency of, when we buy the things, before offering it to the Buddhas and Guru and Dhaka and Dakinis, we think of ourselves eating it, ourselves drinking it. So that actually contaminates. So that says here, leftover contaminates the Dharma protectors. It contaminates the Dharma protectors and guardians who really guard us, in our life, in our spiritual path, So that all gets contaminated. So let's keep here. I think I'm talking too much. I thought of finishing the entire of this, but then we wouldn't finish. But doesn't matter. We can always take time, and then better explanation will give, I hope it will give you deeper understanding, so that if we have time to think about it. So let's keep here. So then next time I can continue from here. So when all this contaminates, then see, it says the protectors contaminates, guardians contaminates, then mother elements are Dakinis are contaminated. So all this contaminates, then we suffer from this kind of pandemic, dakas and dakinis and elements are contaminants because of the way how we do. By doing Gana Chakra, if we don't do properly, it contaminates. By our action, our body, speech, and mind action contaminates entire energy. So we suffer from this kind of pandemic. So this is the practice to remove, to cleanse all this contamination. Yeah. Okay, so let's keep there and then let's practice together now from here. So let's go back to, I think if you prefer, you can also read from here, from the translation text if you like. If not, then the poor transcription text, that one you can also go through, because we all have the same, so also have the page. Okay, now let's practice, read together, chant together from here. Page number 24, if you are looking at my transcription text, which is 24, yeah? I mean, it's the same page I just stopped there and then I talk. So, yeah, last second line, ke simchen kunjang, from there, okay? Now you remember the melody? Okay, let's do together. Ke simchen kunjang mari Tipunulo nyon modungi she Tanam no logosum migelunga Isum no dulciminyam pelula Andro no tamsinyam pedorje Lopo no tokruchumi mata Andro no punyamadami suyo Suma no sena saupe kasu Tamchen no tingzin chupe masipe Mamu no te tun chupe cheta Samde no cheta chupe jive Ranam no ngayela chupe gembe Nanam nulo do cha chupe wangi Nanam nulo chak do chupe takwe Nanam nulo timugo chupe selche Nanam nulo karamara thap chubikula Nyen po nulo thapon chupe jela Yen po nulo mi tsang thap ki kim da nulo mi tsang ti gon kyab Nanam nulo ke par mi tsang pu mi Pang mi ye ting o par sum la lu Yenam nulo pugla konur kim la Kim da no lungai ta hala chamla no. Maybe you have to play bell. Sorry, I have forgot to write that. You can put the note there. Sometimes we also have to do Damaru, but most of the time we only do the bell. Okay, continue. Make me salang Mami de chila masina cheo jai nulli mi de sing Zipaza genge iti vijing sen mo ye gonul go por mi
Nawaon yelanulwijadum dijina potinulwemidum Zakarma musinulwisigi Yetroche yapilanohim Lemi dalanulladasi Tekarda jilanulagotam Troktahanulvidronam Dunmidu jilanulvejila Dumitu yulanulvejidu Muge junga kalanulvejati Sagdahaji dalanulashulji Dogyur manganulанulvegom Hilmi gyur chulanulvebuji Tenin jungojilanulvejingsa Kulburto tablanulvejime Tongsinggong adulanulvejakar Gumpo jugogunulvegorel No tuntula tapunulvegaldo Golahanyam gokinulvegega Sanzi jene kajinulvehemara Lemohosham tanulvehidi Wangpo jimoluntanulvehimedur Tunmi julugi lanulnitiv Jemba nyamalugi lunol shagun Sharuda chalanulvitakang Zidang nyamalugi lasuno Lumide gyapte lasunolwe Semide lugi shanol shachar Nyamto hopchurunol rugun zukching Sinjida chamul dilenata Nachata panulo chugur dolishing Zatru je chigutanol shadum Dichin jangunulo junam jishing Loki kullo jayamenul tonul Mukinul yuksenul tarache Haminul nalbu motindatin Sapenul zinul konul tabzu Kunginul shivetu season kwe Nangmenul dichne shimpanase Jivenul puinami Dukinol tela sopenol jib thamche kun. So from here, visualizing smoke offering substances. So all the substances will come later. I can explain, yeah, and also it's very clear explanation we have in the translation. Continue. Ke juwe tamangale Drupai salatim bechui Rabdu lenne mitrikilungi Tamyo be tawaluini Kewe shinge temulane rabdu Min peshin lodaminesu Kya peshin eti shokunali Kya peshin kado tironuchu Den peshin shinto zenden karmar Akaharu sirshin kembayushin Shupatang adungshin palutapa pen karta umbu banyu nyari sergo tanga pushing moshing pushing shine to debu sumta zanju mami to jide junu khada kawe ji juta so yung mata juna kana dui rikje da darza rinchen ji chemar da sirkim changda yung kuwe chu garsum bunam nasum tangma da shadala soang namge surji la petam je karmar da gugul kana ji no so china so nol deep salve je merse chutulungi rato hore nam khashin du tom par gurbe na rale ke pe mela sepai di sur nam pa na so ye shi di me ngandu samgyur so until here it's more like how the things get contaminated, so later we can always come with the explanation. So here also we play the bell, sometimes we also can play damaru. So okay, till here we practiced also yesterday, so let's go to the next one. So from here it's clearing, so now from here we have to also start burning the substances whatever we have. So later I can always come if you, as I mentioned before, if you do this practice properly, if the circumstances allows, you can burn all these substances if you have. If not, if the circumstances doesn't allow, so incense would also be okay. We have to have the vast kind of visualization, imagination that you are offering to all dakas, dakinis, as many as possible. So that will do anyway. Okay, let's do the next together. This is the new melody again. Every part has a new one new melody, so you all have to remember that also. Okay, everyone has, yeah, continue, page number 45. Ke mari wangi no na ranjumi shisa tunge wangi no na rigni sange sa gusumi geno na gusum la sa dulchim nyambe no na luki kandra sa Nyam la meno na chegyo suma sa no the doctor chung no na mata kandra sa tam sinyam beno na dorjilo punsa Zedung chuk beno na cheta jamdel sa tam zenang jeno na tang rikun busa sena sa beno na nur layang la sa Kunji mi tano na kasung tam jinsa Ting zin truk beno na si pe mamusa Zedong truk beno na ying jilanam sa Zedong truk beno na jiwe lanam sa Magel truk beno na gepe lanam sa Docha truk beno na wangi lanam sa Chakdo truk beno na chakpe lanam sa Timuk truk beno na selche lanam sa No dip truk beno na yulanyen posa Tap kun truk beno na kimlanyen posa Nyam chadi meno na lakpe lanam sa Mi zang di no na gun kep lanam sa Rapche dursino na sigilanam sa na zenjiveno na pola dala sa dikche shempeno na lakpelanam sa miyumizano na shinjilanam sa sun pero dimno na traklanyen posa sun penang meno na goelanam sa Thapino na khala jalasa, shopino na phala malasa, yuksino na malabujisa, luchino na lenkelanamsa, nganulo sunye chaktolanamsa, yinulo dinje siljilanamsa. Yela no la bala dala sa. You can do bell and damas for me. So if we do Damaru, Damaru is actually, if you do the grand one, so we play Damaru everywhere. So we do, in these places, we always do stop with 3 times. Yeah. So there's the one new melody. It's amazing. It's all Holiness teaching us. As I said, is his mind treasure. So, okay, let's repeat this new melody. And I don't think we finish everything today, but doesn't matter. Always step by step, we can learn. Yesterday we had 2 new melodies, and then today 1 new melody. So every day you can get familiar with, yeah, in your free time. So let's repeat the new melody one from page number, yeah, page number 45. Yeah, you want to repeat? Okay, yeah, okay, do together. Page number 45, yeah, so we said where's bell, and then we do that. Mari wangino na rangjui shisa, dugne wangino na rigne sange sa, gusumi geno na gusum lanam sa, dulchim nyambeno na lugi kandra sa, punyam lameno na chekyo sumasa, sokter chungino na matang kandra sa. Signam benona dorjilo ponsa, zedung truk benona chetang chamdesa, pamzena jenona tari bon bosa, sena sak benona nulayang lasa, kundi metanona kusum lanamsa, tingzin truk benona sipe mamosa. Zedong truk benona yinjidrunam sa, Zedong truk benona zimbelanam sa, Magel truk benona gebelanam sa, Docha truk benona wangilanam sa, Chakdok truk benona chakbelanam sa, Timuk truk benona selchelanam sa, Nurdip truk benona yulangin posa, Tapun truk benona kimlangin posa, Namchadi menona lavanam sa, Yizang jinona gun keplanam sa, Rapche dursinona sigilanam sa, Nazin jivenona pola jalasa. Dikche shempenola lakpelanam sa, niyumizanola seljelanam sa, sinpero jimnola chaklanyen posa, sunpenang menola nobelanam sa. Thakino la palatalasa, shokino la palamalasa, yuseno la malabujisa, luchino la lengelanamsa, manulusunge jautolanamsa, yenulodinche sentolanamsa. Yela no na jela jula sa. Okay. Yeah, so we keep there for time being, and then meanwhile you can practice this from the melodies. You can practice from the refuge, and every part has different melodies. I think you have all got the recording, so you can practice. And at the same time, this is also recitation and chanting is very important, but at the same time, as I kind of point out few crucial things, like the four wrong views and all these things you have to keep contemplating. Yeah, so there is the practice, there is the practice every day. If you think about these things and then try to get more deeper understanding of what actually means, how we spend our life, how we how we really live with all these illusions and all these things. So then that will give you, when you realize this, then that will give you the ultimate happiness. The temporary happiness which we have now is very temporary. It's going to be deceive us anytime, any way. So this kind of things is a we call it contemplation, thinking about it, and then that itself is a practice. Then that will bring you the transformation, within yourself, transformation in your body, speech, and mind. If you are, before you always have been involving or involving in this unwholesome deeds, and then now you will bring somehow, if you contemplate and try to think about it, that spontaneously the transformation, there will be a transformation within yourself. So that will gives you tremendous kind of happiness. We are not looking for happiness. We would always talk about the realization, the ultimate destination, or the ultimate truth, which we would like to realize in order to in order to get rid of this suffering, get rid of this pain, and get rid of this cyclic existence. In order to get rid of this cyclic existence, we have to get rid of our ignorance. That is the main thing. Ignorance is the main driver, I would say, which drives us crazy. So that we have to get rid of. So think about it time to time, again and again, so that it itself is the practice. Okay, so I leave it there. You all have any questions now? It's a time to question. Then you all can unmute your microphones now. Question?
Well, I have one question.
Okay.
Since a long time ago, I was with my grandmother when she died. I was quite young, and I was looking at her very closely when she expired. So she felt went like this, and I was looking at her with my mouth open, and I inhaled everything. So I became very sick. I was green. I think maybe for 2 months my skin was almost green. I was
green.
Yes, I was like, I could not eat. I was very, I felt sick for a long time. And maybe it lasted, then after 2 months it was better, but everything lasted maybe 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm reading, now that I was reading the text, I thought about it because it says contamination of the death.
Yeah.
Maybe
There are
this
so
is
many
one-
contaminations.
Maybe this is one contamination.
Yes, that's for sure. That's what I said yesterday. You know, we live with all this strong belief, you know, of what is, this is dirty, this is clean, this is that, this is dualistic conceptual mind, we say. As far as we have dualistic conceptual mind, we have everything, you know. There are so many contamination. When people die, there is contamination. When you know, the moms give birth to the baby, there is contamination. All this will comes, you know, later in the Nolsang. It's so interesting, you know, interesting in the sense it tells everything. So, you know, that definitely, you know, when people die, there is contamination, definitely, you know. Sometimes even you can die, even, you know, because we have not crossed from the dualistic mind, from the conceptual, the, you know, as I said, the fixation, the grasping fixation which we have in our mind, you know. As far as we live with that, we have everything, you know. We have good, we have bad, we have contamination. Everything can get contaminated. So I think that is one of the death contamination, especially when we have to check so many different divination and astrology. I don't know in your tradition, back in Himalayas, in Tibet and Ladakh, when someone dies, we have to check the astrology and so many things, you know. So if there is we say your year, what is your year? If you are red, or if you are, I don't know, dragon, and then the person who died, you know, there is a, you know, some astrology, if that matches, then that's very bad. You cannot even go close to her or him, you know, when he dies. So if you do, then maybe you get so much contaminated. I think that is definitely one of the contamination. Yes. So by doing this Nolsang, you know, that it will remove.
It will clean. And I have another question.
Yeah.
You know, I will have an operation in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I have
Yeah.
the vows. I'm very worried about because I have the vows for the whole life. So not taking anything that changes my consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
And then
No. The your vows will not finish, you know, by the what do you call this? The anesthetic. No.
yes. Okay.
Your vows is within. Yeah, we say there are so many different explanations. I cannot give you all the explanations now. But then when we sleep also, our vows gone, you know, because we are no conscious. It's the same. We are sleeping, you know, and also when you have the anesthetic, when you have go to these different surgeries, you know, different operation. So same. Your vows will remain. There are a few names anyway. The consciousness, you know, very deep consciousness. When we sleep, our consciousness is actually roaming around. As I said before, our mind, you know, this monkey mind is roaming around. That's why we still have so many dreams, you know, when we in our sleep. But we are sleeping, our body is not moving anymore. So where actually our mind, or I don't know where it lives, where is our consciousness, you know. So very subtle consciousness remains in the, so there's a name anyway, later I can talk about it. So it stays there. So vows also same, it stays there. Otherwise it's same, you know. Otherwise if we say, if I have anesthetic and I may how do you say, finish my vows, I have no longer vows, then also in your sleep you will finish your vows, you have no longer vows. So anesthetic doesn't make any difference, you know, doesn't matter. You don't worry at all about the vows.
Thank you very much.
You always be there. Yeah. Vows will go when you contaminate, you know, really, you know. For example, we have a precept of not killing. We have a precept of not stealing, So there are, I think in lay vows, there is no, for example, for stealing, there is no, how do you say, some approx, for us, like the bhikshu and bhikshuni, we have some very number of, stealing, like it's a very easy. If you steal like 20 rupees in Indian 20 rupees, your vows gone, very easy. So that contaminates, actually, that finished. Then if you like stealing, killing, sexual misconduct, and then lying, and then intoxicant, if you do this, then if you break these vows, that means then your vows is gone. You finish, you have no longer vows. You have to, maybe you have to receive from your gurus, from your masters, or otherwise you have no vows anymore. So the anesthetic, definitely not. It's 100% sure it doesn't finish your vows.
Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Any other questions?
Zima, I have one
Yes.
question.
Yes.
Regarding the deity being contaminated, for example, here we have in the text a lot of deities being contaminated and so on. And
Deities.
Yes. So could you say a little bit, what does it mean to like contaminate a deity? Like, is it kind of a way of displeasing them, or is it really something like different than that? Or like, can you say a little on that? What is it to contaminate a deity?
Contaminate means, it's not displeasing. By doing it, displeasing, or they get frustrated, or how do you say? We call null in Tibetan, So null, in other words, we say truk, For example, if I get sick, if I seek a doctor, if I go to see a doctor, so doctor will say, oh, you took, your I don't know, your body has, I don't know, what do you say took in English, actually? It's a null, it's a contaminated. We say contaminated, but then took, in other words, very tired or very irritated, it got frustrated. Frustrated. Let's say frustrated. So your mind is frustrated. Actually it is. We get sick. For example, when we get sick of whatever the sickness is, we are either it's coming from our anger, or desire, or our ignorance. One of these three are the root of our sicknesses, no matter what kind of sicknesses you get. So when we have anger, so our energy gets frustrated. So then our body reacts, so our body gets sick. Maybe you have problem with your heart, you have problem with your kidney, you have problem with your lungs, you have problems with your bones, you have problem in your head, means your energy gets frustrated, so then you get sickness. So I think this is very similar, we have, as I said, as far as we have concept of this dualistic mind, everything has deity. This will come later in this Nolsang when we go through it, or maybe you can also go through the translation. Everything has one deity, like our house has house deity, our stove has stove deity, when we travel, there is a travel deity. When we stay in the room, there is a room deity, there is a shrine deity. We say deity or God or whatever you say, it exists, definitely it exists. So when we do something, how do you say, when we do something bad, they definitely get frustrated. So they give as a feedback, as a how do you say, feedback, or as a result, they want to harm you. That's why we say this pandemic, it will come. Guru Rinpoche said very clearly towards the end of this text, so how the energy and how the elements got contaminated. So they all will speak, so this and that human being have done to us, this person will done to us. So we are very frustrated. We are going to harm you. We are going to, give this disease to you. So from our perspective, we say all these elements and all these different realms of the God, or what, I don't know, divine beings are contaminated. So they are very frustrated because of the way we treat it, because of the action what we have been doing. So they all got very frustrated, very irritated. So as a result, they are giving us pandemic, they are giving us disasters, you know, landslides, I don't know, whatever, earthquake and whatnot. You know, we all have been experiences, you know, every day there are so many disasters. So this is the result of what they, you know, because they're feeling we are not, as you, I mean, we can also say that we displease them, they are not happy with it. Yeah, so there's the contamination.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yes.
I've got a question. A question. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm a bit confused between the mind and consciousness, because we have to analyze that the mind is nowhere to be found in the body. But then I was told that in different stages, when we are in a deep sleep, the consciousness is in one of the chakras. And when we are in a dream sleep, it's in another chakra. And in the day activities in a different chakra. So I'm a bit confused. I thought the mind was consciousness.
I don't know. There is a lot of debate on this subject. Like, you know, what is mind and what is, brain, and what is heart and what is consciousness. I think there are lots of debate. So I have not much really gone through all this debate and all this, how do you say, the philosophy. There are so many things. I think especially the scientists, they would talk a lot about this, you know, brain and mind and consciousness and heart. And, you know, what some says the brain is the, you know, I don't know, whatever it is. So actually, I mean, from our perspective, from the, how do you say, yeah, let's say Buddhist perspective, whatever. So when we sleep, we have a very subtle consciousness. So consciousness, we would say, for time being, relatively consciousness exists for time being, you know. So there are lots of debate also, again, where we say then definitely, then the question comes, you know, we would say, if I never exist, so then why we are accumulating the good karma now, you know? When we finish means finish, you know, there is no I, you know. We would say that, wouldn't we? Definitely we would say that. But because of the, you know, when we die, when we leave this body, we have a, we call it bakchak, the, what do you call this? We leave our, all these, you know, the good deeds and bad deeds and all these things, because of the interdependence, you know, because of the emptiness, and because of the, our Buddhist view is, we call it interdependent origination, you know. So we leave the bakcha. What do you call bakcha in English? Shigzina, you might know.
Tendencies.
Habitual tendencies.
Tendencies.
Oh, this is something other word. Let me check. Bakcha. Oh yeah, they say, yeah, propensity, or yeah, they also say tendency. You are right, tendency or preference. So, you know, that live on the very subtle mind. We say the consciousness. You know, there is a very subtle consciousness. When we sleep, as I mentioned before, the consciousness remains there. You know, there's a very subtle consciousness, not the consciousness of the feeling which we have, which is very rough and very gross. Yeah, it's a gross one, you know. There's a very subtle, very tiny, which is very tiny. So when we sleep, our consciousness stays there. So when we die, definitely our body, we are not going to take our body along with us in the pardo, and in the next life we will die, we will leave it, and then it burns or whatever it happens. But then, because of the interdependence origination, you know, where we sit, you know, we say, if I sit for up, and how do you say, seed of a flower, if I sit here, you know, it will grow here, it will goes nowhere, you know. I mean, relatively, we say, on my table, for example, on my table, if I put a seed of flower here and I put water and I put, I don't know, sun and whatever, and then it will grow here. No, it will grow nowhere else. So similarly, whatever we have done now, the tendency or the propensity will remain there, and then next life we say, as far as, that's what I'm saying, you know, as far as our dualistic mind is there, next life is there for sure. You know, if you don't want next life, we have to get realized, you know, as far as we have this belief of I being exist, I, you know, dirty and clean and this life and that life, all this belief, then next life is there until we, you know, end the you know, if we realize the ignorant, then next life is also not there. As I said yesterday, there is no death also, there is no born also. You know, all this happens because of our habitual pattern or the tendency, you know, very strong habitual pattern or the propensity which we have in, you know, in our mind, and we are full of dualistic mind. That's why everything happens, everything exists, it matters, you know. This pandemic matters us, you know. You cannot say that, oh, it's nothing, it's an illusion, okay, you know, it's an illusion, let's go to market, you know, let's not stick with the lockdown. Definitely you will affected by COVID-19, you will die, you know. Why? Because we have not overcome from our this dualistic mind. As I said yesterday, if you are Milarepa will never get affected. You know, Milarepa goes from the wall, he walked through the wall. We can't walk. Why? Because we have concept of wall as a wall. You know, I as a human being, wall is so solid, how can I go to walk through wall? No way. So if there is no way, so everything matters, you know. So whatever we do in this life matters with next life. What we have done in the past life matters with this life. So if you want to overcome, if you don't want any more suffering, any more nothing, no consciousness, no brain of all this nonsense talk, then we have to focus on realizing the ignorant, you know. As I said, all this, what ignorance is. That's why the root cause of this samsaric life is the ignorant. You have to work with ignorant, which actually means I never exist, yet we said I exist. So that messes up, you know, everything. We messed up with the I, you know, because of that, everything matters. So anyway, does it make sense? So I don't know about what is brain, and I don't know what do you call consciousness, and then the mind is quite, I think there are so many different debates. But for us, I would say that we have a very subtle mind, very subtle consciousness, with which our all these deeds and good karma, bad karma remains with. So then next life matters, you know, that as I said, if I sow a seed here, it will grow here. So if I sow a good karma in this life, next life I will definitely, the karma will coming back to me, not to others, you know. So that's what we say in our philosophy. Yeah, does it make sense to your question?
So the very subtle consciousness is in the body.
I don't know. But no body exists also. We cannot say it's in the body or wherever. As I said, where is I? We cannot find I. So similarly, also, I mean, if we ultimately realize nothing is there, not even consciousness, nothing, you know, nothing exists. It's just unbelievable, you know. So that's why we say the union, the ultimate realization is we cannot express, we cannot say. There is no word for that. It's like you are a dumb person and you are, you know, dumb, we say dumb, who can't speak. Yeah, dumb person eating a sweet thing, you know, he feels it, you know, he feels it, how it feels like, but he can't express because he can't talk. So the ultimate realization is like that, you know, we will definitely experience, but there is no word. That's why in the Heart Sutra, what it says in the very beginning in Tibetan, we say "Ma sam je me." Is speech. It's a speechless, you know, speechless. It's a talkless, you know. it's a expressless. We cannot express, we cannot put in a word, and then we cannot say, oh, this is ultimate realization, okay, I can show you. No, there is no. So similarly, we cannot say that consciousness is in the body. We cannot say, it doesn't exist at all. So it's a very deep kind of understanding we all have to go through. So we have to work on and then practice, and then, without much of talking and thinking, feel it, experience it. As I said yesterday, check, where is I? And then find out. Then you will feel something. That's why we say Mahamudra. When we talk about Mahamudra, there are so many steps of Mahamudra, one by one. In the very beginning, without even talking of emptiness and doesn't exist and all these things, we have to still your mind. Your mind we have to have a control of our mind. Our mind is now out of control, it goes crazy everywhere. So in order to get realization of the ultimate truth, mind have to be very still in the very beginning. That's why we do shamatha practice, there are so many methods of, in the, concentrating on the breath, how many seconds I can be concentrated without distraction, so it's a very beginning. So we all have to work on that, stilling our mind. That's why I mentioned before, don't think anything, just be in the present, at least 15 minutes a day. Then, day by day, month by month, year by year, there will be an improvement for sure. Then we can work on all this emptiness, doesn't exist, where is consciousness, where it goes, how it works. All this is the kind of a next step, I would say. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, any question? No, yeah?
Oh, good.
Okay, so I think it's time to keep there, yeah? And then we will do a short dedication. Also, we haven't done also. We always have to do dedication. We shouldn't be forgetting that, in the beginning, give a rise to bodhicitta, and then while you are practicing, being alert, being in the moment. We have to be very mindfulness. And then in the end, dedication is very important. We dedicate whatever we have done today, for all the beings, especially in this pandemic time. We have to dedicate, as I said yesterday, we have to send our positive energy to those beings who are going through tremendous suffering. So we have to dedicate our good merit, which we have done in today's lesson. Definitely, if you do with the pure motivation, grand motivation, where there is infinite, or there is definitely a lot of good merit that we multiply, we did together, especially when we are so many people. I mean, thanks to this modern technology, it's unbelievable. We can come together and practice together. So definitely there's a lot of good deeds, so which we have to always dedicate for the other beings, instead of keeping for ourselves, for the selfish reason. We shouldn't thinking that much of ourselves, especially in this pandemic time. As I said, we are so fortunate, the midst of this COVID-19. I think many of you are in America, with the situation is in total mess, Many of you are in UK, and the situation is quite, I think maybe now better. In the, I think few months ago it looks very bad situation, and now everywhere, everywhere the situation is getting, I think in the European countries maybe getting better, but now in India, in Nepal, everywhere the cases are increasing day by day. And even Ladakh now, I think you all know, it's unbelievable. So many cases now increasing, so it's very sad what to do. So we have to dedicate for those who going through lots of sufferings and pain and fear of, how would we feel, just imagine if we get COVID-19, the fear, the frustration, it just can be unbelievable, so people are going through that. They all are also our loved ones in one way or another, in this life, maybe not a blood relation, but definitely in our past lives, they all are our blood relation. They all are our sister, our brothers, they are our parents, our grandparents, so we all have, since we all are circulating in this samsaric, so we all are related anyway, so we have to dedicate every day, and also we have to remember all of them in every prayers, which that's why we are doing here, like kind of a non-stop prayers. Holiness is every day he's sitting in the temple for hours and hours, 5-6 hours constantly, and then again we finish one puja and again we start another puja for days and night. It's just unbelievable, because it's just the, as I said, impermanent, really telling us that, we get how many deceased name every day, those are only those who have contact with us, so we don't know who have no contact with us, don't know how many beings are dying, leaving this world. It's just countless every day. I think you all see in life, how many deceased name Holiness have to read out. It's just unbelievable. So that's telling us that, okay, next you are going to die, that we have to think, okay, I will also die, I will also change, everything is changing. Okay, let's have a transformation, let's try to do better, instead of all this nonsense, thought which I have been cultivating. Leave behind, and then try to be a positive person in the very beginning, loving kindness to your family, loving kindness to your, as this I always kind of repeat, then try to send all this positive energy and dedication towards the others. So anyway, so that's why we have to, as a practitioner, that I feel like it's our duty or responsibility to think about the beings every puja, no matter whatever short puja, long puja, recitation you are doing, we have to think about them. Yeah. Okay, so let's do with the, I don't know if you all have the rosary. Maybe we can do the King of Aspiration, but it's quite long time. It's also quite late. So let's do the Ngotsar Sangye, the short Dharani of Amitabha. Yeah, then we dedicate with that. Or maybe, no. Let's go to the Nolsang in the last, which is the, which is composed by Druptop Thangdong Gyalpo for the pandemic to vanish, or the, so yeah, let me show you page number, very last of the Nolsang, which I have transcribed. Page number 160. So there's the dedication. How come I've written dedication? Oh, no. Aspiration prayer. Anyway. Yeah.
So it's before.
Letang Lobur. Page number 160, the last second line. Yeah. This we do every day so many times, because this is given by Druptop Thangdong Gyalpo when there was a pandemic. So this is very much related with the pandemic, to end this aspiration prayer. So page number 160, last second line. You all have it? Nolsang transcription, which I did. Yeah, that one. Okay, let's do. Everyone has it? Yeah. 160, last second line. Le tang lo bur, that one. Okay. Yeah, everyone has it? Okay. I think everyone has it. Okay, let's do. Soto neki dungi chingi deba jikten kamso jungwar ma gyurji Chida Shinje Kana Tupater Niki Mingsam Tube Jachinbe Ninje Patanga Takpe Rimso Ye Lucin Gula Not Parama Yurji Not Pegi Don't Chaya Juda Lobure Josumga Jujuda Jiga Zajine La Sobai Ilusin Gula Not Parama Yurji Junji Drue Malu Jujepe Junji Trupe Dunge Jingeba Malu Jijin Danto Dengurne Serine Mediki Dembarsho Lama Kuncho Namgi Tujeta Kanjo Chikyo Sume Tutoda Leje Lua Me Pedento Hogi Mulam Chitar Tapa Drugurji. Okay, so today we do that just one time, and then this one you can do individually as many as possible. It's very effective for this, especially for dedicating for this pandemic. Yeah. Okay, so then last one we do, this is the ending part. Karma Jabri Marme Dang Guma Zilpa Chubur Dang Milam Lota Jinta Buduche Chunam Teta. Okay, so we have done for today, and then see you next weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And then meanwhile, I will send you the Dhammaru and also the names of the mudras and all these things. Yeah, I also sometimes get so much work and don't get time to do. So when I get time, I will definitely do. I hope I can manage to send all this in this week. Yeah. Okay, everybody. So have a good day or good night or good afternoon. See you next weekend.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye.